Hello everyone, welcome. This is Tom Doherty, and in this video I have a really awesome presentation for you. It's called How to Predict Your Success in Network Marketing. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't you like to learn that, right? How to predict your success in network marketing. I think you're really going to enjoy this video. Before we get started though, I just want to give a shout out to Ray Higdon. If you're watching this video, you may know him. He's very big online, network marketing professional. He's my friend, my enroller, and definitely learned a lot from him. And a lot of the stuff in this presentation is based upon a daily routine, which you're going to learn about in a minute. And he's very well known for his daily routine. He has tons of blogs on it, tons of videos. So some of the stuff in here, I've watched all his stuff on daily routine because I know how important it is, and I've taken some really good notes. But you're also going to see my own personal opinion on this, and I'm going to show you my daily routine. And hopefully this will help you craft your own daily routine. That way you can predict your success in network marketing. Alright guys? Alright, so you need a daily routine. You know, your daily routine is your most important aspect of your business plan. And, you know, I'll tell you something. When I first learned about daily routine, I was at the video store. This was my first experience in network marketing. I'm extremely grateful. The first company I got involved with, I was able to go full-time in like 7 months. And I was so new to network marketing. You know, I was full-time before my enroller. And then the first company, I replaced my income by more than double in 7 months. Extremely grateful, humble that it happened. I mean, I worked my butt off. I'll talk to you a little bit about that as we go through the presentation. But even though I knew what to do, I knew that I had to work with my team. I had to constantly put people in front of a presentation, you know, constantly make new contacts, follow up, all the different things we know we need to do. I saw myself on certain days, like in the middle of the day, not really knowing what to do. I caught myself sometimes at the movie store renting movies. You know, there's nothing wrong with watching movies, but I was like, wait a second. What am I doing at the movie store? It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I haven't done any work yet. You know, so that was like one of the big turning points. Man, I was like, wow, I need like some type of daily routine. And back then, I didn't really know. You know, I didn't really call it a daily routine, but I needed like a plan. I said, you know, it was kind of funny. So back then, I kind of created a daily routine, and I don't even remember exactly what it was at that time. But, you know, here's something that's just, and I'm going to share with you kind of an opinion on this because, you know, some people out there, they're trying to learn every single marketing thing out there, PPC, Facebook PPC, Twitter, all these different things. They're always on the next webinar, you know, learning the new marketing thing that's marketed as the best thing out there. You're going to get all these leads. But if you're not if you don't know how to prospect someone, like not even prospect, you know, just take a step back from prospecting. If you don't know how to have a conversation with someone, connect, build a relationship, you're not gonna have you know, the results. You know, you could do all these different marketing techniques, but if you don't know how to call a lead, you're just not going to have that results. You're not going to have the results that you want. But if you have a daily routine and you can consistently predict your success, and that's how I feel about it, because I see people that they're not talking to people. They're just trying to learn the next marketing thing out there. And when you ask them, you know, like, how many people did you know, talk to this week? You know, you hear crickets. That's when you need to reevaluate your plan. But as we go through this, it's going to get very clear on what you need to do. And here's something. I heard Ray say this, but I've heard multiple people say this. I've heard Robert Kiyosaki say this, Kim Kiyosaki say this. You know, because so many times when you're prospecting people, they're going to tell you they're at rock bottom. You know, and, you know, how do you want to look at the glass? Half empty or half full? You know, you're at the rock bottom, great. All you have is up now, you know. Change the way you think. You know, change the way you think and your results will change. And here's something that Ray talked about, and I agree with this 100%. We lost some of the hustle in network marketing. You know, could you imagine? I heard him say this when he was like being interviewed. Could you imagine like doing 400 cold calls a day? That's unheard of now in network marketing. But, you know, it just doesn't exist. And, you know, it did exist one time. It did exist. I try to be, if I told someone do 50 cold calls a day, if I was on the phone with them, I'd hear crickets. If I was in person with them, they just wouldn't say anything because it just, let's get some of that hustle back. I'll tell you something. I have tons of leads, thousands. Because when I first got started in network marketing, I had bought leads. Yeah, I buy leads, and I enroll people that way. But I saved all of them, and sometimes if I feel like, sometimes I'll just call those people. And those leads are old. But if I call them, it kind of sharpens my sword, and eventually I'll get someone that's interested, and they're then they're looking at the business, and I have a follow up with them. So, but guys, here's what I want you to get out of this slide. 400 cold calls, that's a lot. But pick it up a notch, Get that hustle back. Get the hustle back. Are you hustling, or are you just kind of, hoping that someone's going to join you, If you start hustling and you start getting busy making phone calls, you're going to attract the type of people that do that as well. And here's something, this is a really cool quote by Babe Ruth, and I'm going to relate this to our profession, network marketing. So the year that Babe Ruth had the home run record, he also had the most strikeouts. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's say this was network marketing. He prospected the most people. So he had the most enrollments, let's say. But he got the most no's. Guys, you get that? So he won because he talked to more people. When you see a person that's enrolling a lot of people, they're just really getting more leads and prospecting more than you. That's really it. If you were to put two people together and go over their results, the person that has more enrollments is just talking to more people. That's all. So, and here's something, and I'm gonna tell you something. This is kind of I was surprised at this, but if you're not good over the phone, because if you're a network marketer, you got to be good over the phone. And I don't mean you have to be like this professional salesman or closer, but you got to be able to have a conversation with somebody and walk them through taking a look at your opportunity. So if you're not good over the phone and you hate rejection, get a telemarketing job or buy really cheap leads to practice. And I'll tell you something. I've heard Ray say this, and I've heard other people say this. I've actually recommended people on my team. I said, listen, you may want to get a telemarketing job. And I'll tell you something. I've had people go out and get a telemarketing job. It sounds crazy, but guys, you get a telemarketing job, just get it for practice. You'll be awesome over the phone. They're gonna put you to work. They're gonna put you to work over the phone. You're gonna get tons of rejection, and you're gonna make tons of phone calls. And then if you take that experience and put it into your network marketing business, you're gonna be a rock star. Another thing I recommend too is buy cheap leads to practice. Now, here's something about leads. I have people on my team that say this. They're like, "Oh, Tom, I don't want to talk to people I know. I'm just gonna buy really expensive leads." And I'm like, when I hear that, I just go, "Oh no." It's kind of like they don't want to work. They don't want to work. I'm just gonna buy really expensive leads. Well, here's something you have to understand about leads. A lead is a lead is a lead. And I heard my buddy Mike say this a long time ago, and at first I didn't really get it. It's the person, because I'll get a batch of leads, and if another person got the same batch of leads, I'd get people enrolled. I know I will. And maybe the other person wouldn't. So does that really mean that one person got a better batch? No, it was the same batch. It's just one person got enrollments, the other one did. Another thing with leads is I think people just don't call their leads. One of the biggest reasons when you hear someone say, "Oh, leads don't work," that's baloney. That's just straight up baloney. They're not calling their leads. You can't have a batch of leads and not get someone signed up. It's kind of, that's how I feel. So, one thing I think people don't, they just don't call their leads. But if you find a place where you can pick up like leads like really cheap, get them to practice. I've heard professional people, like people that really close a lot of leads, they'll say just mess up 50 phone calls. And you know what? That's kind of like not direct guidance on how to do it, but you know, it's kind of true, you know. Get real good at just, you know, that when I first started, I stunk over the phone. And I heard that from someone that was very successful at the time. And I was like, I mean, that kind of makes sense. I was saying all funny types of things. And then all of a sudden, I was just going through a massive amount of leads. And then all of a sudden, I was getting people signed up. People were enrolling with me. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you. I hope that opens you up a little bit. And here's something so true, too. If you can't build this business part-time, you will not be able to build this business full-time. Because people always think this. They go, oh, if I had more time, you know, I would be able to do this business. That's just not true. When I first got involved in network marketing, I was doing computer consulting, and I just wanted to get out of that job, you know, like crazy. Me and my enroller at the time, we would call each other like throughout the day when we weren't around like our boss, and we would kind of kid around, like we would say, "Get me out of here." It was kind of like an inside joke. So, but anyway, here was my schedule when I first started. I was working 40 hours a week, okay, Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week. I was doing computer consulting, and my boss would sometimes send me out to service calls, and I would, on my way to work, this is what I was saying in my head. I was saying, oh, please let him send me out on service calls, because I know I can talk to people on my team, see if they need help. I could prospect, I could follow up with people. And I'd get into work, and most of the time he would send me on service calls, and he would say, not that I was taking advantage of the position at work, but if I had an opportunity to make phone calls, I did. So he would say, hey, I'm sending you here and there. And I'd say in my mind, yes, oh, great. So anyway, the second my foot hit the street, my phone went up to my ear, and I was prospecting. And I did that till I got to the job. When I got out of the job, I would do that on my way back to the office. That's how bad I wanted it. And what happened was I would get home, eat dinner, and then I'd get back on the phone and just start prospecting. And I was also, now here's the thing. I was also going to school. I was going to a real estate appraisal school, because that was kind of hot at the time. And this was before I was in network marketing. I kind of just, you know, before network marketing fell in my lap, at that time I was kind of looking for some other ways of making money. So I was going to real estate school. I was also going to, and that was, I think, 2 nights a week. And then there was another 2 nights I was going to school. I was taking computer certification courses. So if I was out on the road at work, I'd be on the phone. When I got home, I'd eat, jump on the phone, and then I would go to school. And this is how bad I wanted it. And I'm just sharing this with you because some people do work it this hard and they get amazing results. You can't work it this hard and not get good results. If we had a 15-minute break, which we did, I was on the phone. If I wasn't on the phone, I was, you know, prospecting to people at school. It wasn't like trying to sell them something. I was just kind of getting to know the people and seeing if there was an open door for me to introduce the opportunity at the time. And I did that in 7 months. Boom, I was full-time. Now, that was, would you think that was part-time? Yeah, but I was kind of working the business full-time, I thought. But here's the point. You have to experience building the business like that. Like if you're working and going to school, you have to experience doing it like that. Because if I was just to quit everything and go full-time, it just wouldn't have happened. I think a lot of people don't do that. They kind of just, they look for an excuse why they can't make a phone call. I know some people have crazy schedules and stuff like that. And guys, you just have to find a way to do something. You can, I don't care how busy you are, you can make 1 phone call a day. Start with 1 phone call. Because you hear these people, they just make excuse after excuse. I'm getting real with you guys. I hope you appreciate that. If you're sitting there and you're able to talk about all these excuses why you don't have time and this is going on in your life, don't talk like that. Just make 1 phone call. Make 1 phone call and do that for a week. Build up to 2 phone calls. You can do it, guys. But if you can't build this business part-time, you're not going to be able to build it full-time. I hope you appreciate me getting real with you. Now, there's 2 categories of activities. And this is from Ray. So true. Passive marketing. It's when you take an action that you hope an unnamed individual responds to, like an ad, blog, video, drop card, business card, flyer. That's like, let's say you were putting out flyers. You're kind of hoping that someone's going to respond to that flyer. That's passive marketing. Okay, active prospecting. Now, passive marketing, let me just take a step back. Passive marketing, I believe that a person should be doing that as well. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a little bit, but I believe you should be doing that. Passive marketing, it's a great tool that should be implemented in your daily routine. Now, active prospecting is you reaching out to another human being through Facebook, email, phone call, face-to-face, some type of one-on-one scenario, and you're connecting with them to prospect them. Does not mean you're doing an email blast, like just blast out an email to everyone on your email list. You're building connections. You're building relationships. You're connecting with the individual, like a one-on-one scenario. That's active prospecting. So here's a routine for part-timers. And if you work more than 50 hours a week, you're considered part-time. If you work 40 hours a week, you're full-time. You don't. That's what's cool about network marketing. I've been saying this since I went full-time. You can work this business 3 hours a day and be full-time in network marketing. Isn't that cool? Like, isn't that cool to hear? Because I think some people look at this and go, oh, I don't have time to do network marketing. You don't have a couple hours a day? That's all you really need. So 75% of your activities should be focused on profit-producing activities. So if you have, let's say you just have an hour a day, 75% of that time should be active prospecting, which we just went over. Because think about it, if you have an hour a day and you're just doing passive marketing, you're not going to be talking to people on a daily basis. If you're not talking to people, you're not leading them to a presentation or a video or something like that, and then you're not really working. Make sense, guys? I'm not saying don't do passive marketing. And you might be able to, like, with your schedule, you might be like, wow, I kind of don't have that much time at night. Well, hit this hard on the weekend. Wake up really early and do passive marketing on the weekends. That way, throughout the week, you have some extra leads coming in. So you have people to talk to throughout the week. So I hope that helps you. Make 2 to 5 personal connections a day. 2 to 5 prospects. I think if you're working this an hour a day and you're consistent and you work this 5 days a week and you take weekends off, you should definitely be talking to 2 to 5 people a day. Without a doubt. 2 to 5 new people a day. And active prospecting. Because think about it, if you're just doing passive marketing, you're not going to be talking to people on a daily basis. So you gotta do the active prospecting, connecting with those people, and things take time. The passive marketing takes time, and sometimes the active prospecting takes time, because you may have like a few conversations with a person, and that leads on a few days before it comes out, But just know that if you are consistent, over time, it's going to build up. I mean, sometimes I got a phone call the other day from someone that I left them a message like 2 months ago, and boom, they just called me. So you'll get stuff like that, but you're not going to get lucky if you're not doing anything, And here's one thing: create one piece of content per day, like a blog or a video or an article, and this is what Ray suggests. And I'll tell you something, I really just started doing videos. Like, if you're seeing this video, I wasn't even really creating that much content. And you'll probably see this on a blog. Right now my blog's being created. But this is an awesome part-timers routine. Also, if you follow this, you're going to build an empire. Here's my routine. Now, I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. And I heard Robin Sharma say this, wake up before your competition. If you follow Robin Sharma, I'm sure you heard him say that. I've heard Darren from Success Magazine, heard him say that. I've heard Eric Thomas say that. He's awesome. Wake up before your competition, I don't need an alarm clock. My passion wakes me. Write that down every day. You will start waking up early. So I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, I can't, not that I can't, I just don't actively prospect that early in the morning. You know, a lot of people are sleeping. So what I do is, and this is smart to have on your mind, because let's say you're working a job now and you have work at 8 or 9 o'clock. Guys, what if you wake up an extra hour earlier? Like maybe you're just working the business like an hour in the evening. What if you woke up an extra hour earlier and did some passive marketing? Would that benefit you if you did that 5 days a week? So what I do is I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's when I do most of my passive marketing. I will do some at night. And guys, when you see this, I'm saying 1 to 2 hours. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less. But I basically do this like 5 to 6 days a week, passive marketing. And then I actively prospect 2 to 3 hours a day. Again, it might be a little less, it might be a little more. What I do is when I'm making phone calls where I'm actively, when I'm active in my prospecting, I kind of have a routine where from like 10 to 11:30 I'm making phone calls, and then from 3:30 to 4 I'm making phone calls, and then from like 6 to 9 I'm making phone calls. Does that mean I'm on the phone the whole entire time? No. That's just how I broke up my day. You know, that just works for me. You know, when I say 10 to 11:30, I'm not on the phone from 10 to 11:30. Is there times where I am? Yeah. You know, it depends on what's going on. You know, if I'm enrolling someone or, you know, whatever. But that's kind of how I develop my routine. And my routine changes over time. But this is basically what I do. I'm telling you exactly what I do. That's when I do my phone calls. That's when I do my follow-ups, you know. And here's something I do. I'm going to share with you guys some personal things as well. I do this every single day. And let me take it a step back. The passive marketing, I do it about 5 or 6 days a week. The active prospecting, Saturday and Sunday, I do not set up anything. If I do have a person that wants me to call them on Saturday or Sunday, I'll make it very clear, and hopefully this helps you out as well. I'll make it very clear. I'll absolutely call you, you know, Saturday at 1 o'clock. But do me a favor, since it's the weekend, please put it in your calendar. You know, because I don't want to set up a call where someone wants me to call them and then they don't even pick up the phone. But I do calls Saturday morning around 11 o'clock. I do Saturday morning. Saturday I don't make calls unless it's scheduled, but I will make calls at about 11 o'clock. I'll do follow-ups and some new people at that time. That's how I work. And then Sunday I don't do anything. But again, if it's someone that wants me to call them for, you know, some reason, I will. I'll schedule that in my calendar. I do this every single day, 7 days a week. I write my goals out. My MDP, if you read Think and Grow Rich, that's my major definite purpose. I write out affirmations, and I write out things I'm grateful for. Now, what I usually do is I'll read my MDP, major definite purpose, and then after that, I don't write that, I read that, because that's long. Okay? I just read that out loud. Affirmations. I'll read that. I'll write it, then I read it out loud. And how I write goals and things I'm grateful for. Goals, I have I do different goal setting, and I don't want to do a long thing on goal setting, but on a daily basis, I write out my top 3 goals for that month. Things I'm grateful for, I write out my top 3 things I'm grateful for that day. And I'll share with you something real quick. I can't go into detail on all this, but this is kind of cool. I think some people don't know how to write out, things you're grateful for. There's a really cool book out there. It's called Magic. It's by the person that did the whole Secret movie. So a lot of people have heard that. But if you want to get into things grateful, if you want to learn about gratitude, that book is awesome. And here's one way she suggests writing out how you're grateful. And here's just one way, and this is how I basically do it. Sometimes it's a little different, but you write it out. I'm so happy and grateful for what you're grateful for, then put because. So I'm so happy and grateful for blah, 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 because blah, 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 and then say thank you, thank you, thank you. When you do it that way, it's amazing. You know, if you're someone that's writing out a list of things you're grateful for, and you do it that way, it's going to be a totally different experience. So I hope you guys like that little tidbit I throw in there for you. Another thing I do is I meditate. I only meditate about 10 to 15 minutes a day, and I read about 15 to 30 minutes a day. Meditation is kind of something I've been doing for about a year now, and, you know, pretty much 5 days a week. And I'll tell you something, when I first heard of it, I'm like, meditation? You know, what's that? But it's amazing, man. It just calms me, it refreshes me, and I come up with just awesome ideas. So that's why I've been so consistent with it since I started doing it. And then reading. I mean, I'm at my desk right now. I have books everywhere. I have books, courses, everything. So I always like learning things so I can grow personally and professionally. So I read about 15, 30 minutes a day. Now, guys, just taking a step back too. When I say like I read and write out my affirmations, goals, things I'm grateful for, that only takes about 15 minutes tops to do all that. If you're doing it for the first time, it may take you a lot longer. But I do it every day, so it really doesn't take that much time, and I basically know everything by heart since I do it on a daily basis. And I just started creating content now. Just last week, the day I'm cutting this video, last week I've enrolled 3 people in my business. That's pretty good. I think some people would be like, wow, that's awesome. I'd like to, enroll 3 people in 1 week. And I got, guys, some people are like internet gurus that are seeing this, or I don't have a blog. My blog's being created now, so I'll probably put this video and make a blog on it. But I enrolled 3 people last week. That's active prospecting, guys. Most of that came from active prospecting. So isn't that cool? That's a testimonial. Do I enroll people with passive marketing? Yes, I do. But, that was referrals. Like, one person was a referral from a family member. So, guys, active prospecting works. But I am adding in content. Does my daily routine change? Yeah. I kind of took a little bit longer on this slide, but I wanted to really, let you guys know what I do. So this is basically my routine. And there's one last thing. I exercise about 30 to 45 minutes a day. That's Tom's routine right there. Current. That's Tom's current routine. All right. Here's a hustler's routine. 2 to 3 hours a day. 75% profit-producing activities. 15 to 25 personal prospects a day. Now, this is what Ray Higdon suggests for this. And yeah, this is a hustler routine, I pretty much, my goal is to make 10 or more, new contacts a day. Is it sometimes a little less? Yeah. Is it sometimes more? Absolutely. But that's pretty much my goal. I think I make about 10 new, around 10, 5 days a week. But again, this is a hustler's routine. Active prospecting, not just passive marketing. And create 2 pieces of content per day. All right? And here's some questions you can ask yourself that should dictate your income. How many people did you, A, provide value to last week, B, prospect personally, C, create a new personal connection with? Now, guys, just take a look at B and just, really ask yourself, how many people did I personally prospect last week? If you're hearing crickets right now, then you need to really evaluate your daily routine. And I'm being honest with you. How many people did you personally prospect? You have to really think. This is a wake-up call slide. And guys, you have to be honest with yourself, okay? And then you should go to C. How many people did you create a personal connection with? And then provide value to last week. If all these questions you're hearing crickets, then you need to reevaluate your daily routine and work on creating one and get real serious. Because these are the activities that are going to, create business for you. These are the things that you should be doing. That's what we do as network marketers. So please do me a favor. If you're watching this and, again, you hear those crickets because you're not really sure, evaluate your daily routine and craft one. Let this video help you craft a daily routine, your own personal, you know. And here's just an awesome quote by Jim Rohn, and I believe, like, on a subconscious level, you know, I think people, they just, you know, they wish it was easier. It's in their head, you know. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better, you know. Always try to be better. You know, when you make a phone call and it didn't really go that well, you could call the person back and say, listen, you know, I'm working on getting better. You know, is there something, you know, I could have said better? Yeah, no, I don't think anyone would tell you how to do that. I heard the last company I was working with, the person that was the top title, and it was hard. It was hard to get to the top title in that last company. I'm talking extremely hard. This person was an animal on the phone, and she said that. She said if you don't have a good phone call, a good conversation, you feel like you didn't have a good call with her, call them back and ask how you could become better. You know, ask them, say, listen, hey, you know, hey, it's Tom. You know, not sure how well the call went. You know, looked like you were, you know, going to partner up with me. Is there something I could have said that was better? Why not? Why not? Why not get better? You know, but just reevaluate at the end of the day. Ask yourself, you know, what could I have done today that, you know, what could I have done today to make my success better in this industry? You know, so just strive to be better. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. And this is so true. Being a professional is doing what you love to do, even on the days you don't feel like it. I'm going to say that again. Being a professional is doing what you love to do, even on the days you don't feel like it. Guys, you know how many times I don't feel like doing anything? And I know it's almost like a switch in my head. Like all of a sudden my mind starts making excuses, like, oh, I'm tired, or I'm just going to take it easy, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I'll get on the phone with someone and, you know, I got all these follow-ups. Maybe I enroll someone. It's just a switch. I know when I have that thought in my mind, I just switch it right off, because I know that that's being professional. Professional is, I'm going to take a nap now. You know, I'm going to make an excuse why I can't do this today. You know, so I'm being real with you guys. I hope you appreciate that. So, are you professional? Starting today, you become professional. No excuses. George Zalicki. If you don't know George Zalicki, he's awesome. I met him in person. I seen him at a convention, network marketing convention, and this guy is awesome. And even though I saw him, before I tell you this quote, I'll share with you a quick story. George Zalicki, just professional network marketer. I think he makes, like, I don't even know how much he makes, but it's just a lot. He's just awesome. I mean, if you've seen him, or you've seen him on a video, or seen him in person, or listened to his audios, you'll know he's just awesome. And I had seen him, and my uncle actually introduced me to this CD set he has. It's a 2 CD set, and it's called Mind and Emotions. And I'm like, wow, that sounds cool, you know. So that CD became like a part of me. I've listened to that CD, I can't tell you how many times. It is so cool. It is just, it's all about your mind and emotions. And it's going to help you become better at network marketing. But anyway, he talks about commitment. He's very big with commitment. And commitment is doing the thing you said you would do long after the mood you said it in has left you. So commitment is doing the thing you said you would do long after the mood you said it in has left you. Do it anyway because you said it. That's right. That's right from George. But anyway, that CD, I remember that CD, those 2 CDs, I was listening to them like crazy. I shared it with a buddy of mine in the business, and he was like an old Amway guy. So, I mean, if you were in Amway, I was never in Amway, but I know they're so big with self-development, and I knew that he studied so much, you know, training on self-development, and he was listening to the CD like crazy, and he had shared with me, he goes, Tom, this is the best CD I've ever heard on self-improvement. So guys, it's just awesome. But he has another CD, and the current network marketing company I'm with, they actually promote his one of his CDs. It's called Profile of a Champion. That's almost like Mind and Emotions, like condensed into one CD, but it is a little different. But those two CDs are just awesome. I mean, you could tell I'm really juicing them up. I mean, you're gonna love them if you haven't heard them before. But that's what George Zalicki says about commitment. This is a famous quote by him. And I hope that this presentation helped you like reevaluate your daily routine. It's all about becoming more efficient and better with your time. And here's something that most people do. They waste their time doing little to nothing at all instead of profit producing activities. Guys, sometimes it's not your fault. You just don't know. Sometimes you don't realize that you wasted the whole week. The whole week went by and you thought you did stuff, but you didn't. It's not your fault sometimes. I know, you just don't know. That's why this presentation is so powerful. So guys, reevaluate your week. What did you do Monday? What did you do Tuesday? What did you do Wednesday? Are you doing profit producing activities? That's what you have to ask yourself. And just know that you can build an empire in the network marketing profession just 1 hour a day. Guys, take off the weekends. But if you work 1 hour a day, you can build an empire. Even if you talk to one person a day and you did it consistently, a new person every single day, you'd build an empire. I think some people still think that they have to condense all this time. Because what happens a lot in network marketing, I think, is people do like so much in a short period of time, then they just don't do anything at all. You feel me on that? It's so true. If you're doing so much that all of a sudden you're just not doing anything, don't do so much. You have to build up to that. If you're not really talking to people on a consistent basis, start talking to one person 5 days a week. Make a goal, one new person 5 days a week. And then once you get comfortable with that, because when you see yourself starting to get comfortable, that's when it's time to grow. So when you see yourself getting comfortable, bring that up to 2 people a day. Do it 5 days a week. Take off the weekends. Have some fun with your family, your friends, So guys, that's the end of the presentation. This is Tom Doherty, and develop a daily routine. Do profit producing activities and have fun, Have fun. Network marketing is about having fun too. You can create an amazing lifestyle in this profession. So I want you to create an amazing lifestyle for yourself and your family. So guys, have fun, and I will see you in another video real soon. Thanks.